Hello students, welcome to the Java session. The next topic, the third chapter is Java statements. Java statements. See, what are the different Java statements we are going to use in our Java program? So here we are going to see some set of Java statement. See, what is statements? Java statements are that is the basic building blocks of the Java program. To define any program, we are going to use some set of statement. See, these statements are going to be executed in the form of single command. All the statements to be going to be executed in the one single executable command, and these statements we are going to be written with some set of tokens. So with the help of some tokens, we are going to define some statements in the Java program. And the statements can be a single statement or it can be a multi-statement. The single statement can be terminated with the semicolon. The single statements, it can be terminated with the semicolon. We know already, we did some more programs. And multi-line statements or multiple statements, that will be end with the curly braces, that is end of the curly brace. So beginning and end of the curly braces, we are going to define the multiple statements. Okay, so and these multiple statements, it will be considered as a single command. The Java compiler will going to consider these multiple statement as a single command. Why? Because all this will be enclosed in a block. All this will be enclosed in a curly braces block, so that it will be considered this entire thing is a single command and it will be executed as a single command. And suppose if you write separately the one statement and end with the semicolon, then it will be treated as a single command, and this single line statement will be terminated with the single semicolon, and it will be considered as a single command. Even the multiple lines also, it will be considered as a single command. Why? Because it will be enclosed in the curly braces, so that entire thing is a single command. Understood? So what is Java statement means? Java statements are going to be defined by using some set of tokens. Using the Java tokens, we are going to write some statements. So the Java tokens helps to define the structure of our Java program with help of some statements. So these statements, Java statements, we are going to be it will helpful to control our program execution. These statements, it will be helps to control our program execution. So the statements can be used either a single line statement or multiple line statements. Single line statements are terminated with the semicolon, and multi-line statements are end with the end of curly braces. Understood? And now we will see what are the several types of Java statements. So first one is package statement. So why you need package statement in our Java program? If we want to define any class to be the part of that particular package, then you are going to use the package. Suppose you are going to write some class, and that class to be a part of one package, and that time you are going to define the package. Understood? So the package always will come the first statement in our Java program. Package is nothing but what? Like a folder. It is like a folder or directory. So in that main folder, we are going to add all your related Java programs, all the related Java classes we are going to put in the particular package, particular folder. Okay, so what is the example for package? See, why you are using package means to define or to place the classes, to be the part of package. See example, package name, package name. For example, package name is animal. Then here, for example, I am going to use one class name is called dog. See this class name. What is class name here? Dog. This class dog is belongs to the animal package. Then once if you are compiled and executed this program, then this class will going to store in this package, under this package like this. See, animal is a main package, main folder. Here, so your class dog will be created. Your class dog will be organized. So the package will organize all your classes, all the related class in the particular package. So similarly, you can also create another class in the same package. For example, cow. Similarly, you can also create another class related to this package. For example, cat. So all these classes, all these dog, cow, cat, all these are belongs to the animal. All these three are belongs to the animal, so that we have to define the package related to the particular classes, so that only the particular classes we are going to define in the package. So this is the package. Understood why you need package? Suppose if you want to define any class to be the part of that package, then you are going to use the package. So you can create your own package like this. See, using the package keyword, package name. So I given the package name is animal. Under that package I am creating one class. Now this class is comes to this package. This class is under this package like this. So this dog is comes to the under the animal. Similarly, I can also use cow and I can also use the cat like that. Next one, and always remember the package statement should end with the semicolon. And the next one, import statement. Import statement. Why you need import statement in our Java program? Suppose if you want to import any predefined class or any predefined methods, if you want to use in your program any predefined classes or predefined methods, then we need to import particular class or method in your program. Then only you can use that class or any method to do our task very easily. For example, to see why you need this import, to import any predefined classes, methods, etc. For example, here I can use import java.util.date. So this is the example for import statement. Import java.util.date. Here I am importing one date class. Date is a class from the util package, from the utility package, and this package comes under the Java package. So Java is a main package, util is a sub package. In that package I am importing the class name is called date. Always in the Java, predefined classes are start with the capital letters, so that here I am given D capital letter date. So now you can use this class directly in your program because already imported, and you can, and using that class you can use some methods, and using the methods you can define the any dates. You can display the different date formats. You can display the different date formats. You know various date format. For example, I want to display the date like this. For example, 22/9/2020 or 2022 September 2020. So like that, if you want to define the date into the different formats, we can display the date in the different formats by taking the related methods. So from this date class, already you are imported the date class, and take the some date class methods, and you can display the date format. So like that. Understood? Suppose if you want to use any predefined classes and predefined methods from the Java standard library, so already it is available in the Java standard library. That is, I know already I told API. So there all the library files are available. There we can import the any class or any method using the import keyword, and then after importing that, then you can use the related classes and methods to display the any things, to perform any task. So that is import statement. Then third one, empty statement. The empty statements does nothing execution. Does nothing. Does nothing execution. The empty statements example is just semicolon. See, just here nothing is there. Statement, no statement. Just I given the only semicolon. That is the empty statement. Here no statements are there. No statements are, just I indicated the only semicolon, so that it is a empty statement. Empty statement. So this will does nothing execution. So it will not execute anything. It will not perform any task. So just it is empty statement. So example is just semicolon. Okay. Next, another one, fourth one. Fourth one, labeled statements. Labeled statements. Labeled statements are going to use to identify the loops. Labels are, see, labels are identifier that you are going to use to identify the loops. For example, if you want to use any while loop, do while or for, so those loops you are going to identify by using the label. And also using this label, we can also whether you want to continue the loop or whether you want to terminate the loop, that can be performed. For example, see, so why you need label statement? To identify the loops, to identify the loop, and also use it to continue or exit from the block using the break and continue statement. Using a break continue. See example, label example, for example here outer while I is less than 10. See here outer is a label. So this will going to identify the while loop. Outer is a label name. So this will going to identify the while loop. This we are using for what? To define the while loop. So while I is less than 10, if it is true, then it will execute the statements. So here there is a one method is called do something. This method will be called and this method will be executed. And again, if you want to continue the same loop again, then you can use the label name continue outer like this. So you can use like this. So for example, you are going to use continue outer. Then again it will going to continue this loop, because outer you are using for while loop. Again it will going to continue the outer. Or if you want to break, break outer. Break outer means then it will break the outer. Outer is belongs to what? While loop. Then this loop will be break. So this label we are also using to define the loop, to identify the loop, in the some situations, whether you want to continue the loop or you want to terminate the loop, you can also use this label. So for example, see here I am using continue outer means again once again it will going to start the execution of the same loop. Suppose if you want to break, you can also break the outer without using any conditions. You can also terminate or continue by using the label names. That is the use of labels using in the Java. Understood? Label statements are statements which are going to use to identify the loops, and also use to whether you want to continue the execution of the same loop again and again, or if you want to terminate the loop. So we are going to use by using the break and the continue statement. So for example, here I given whether suppose if you want to execute this loop again, if you want to continue execution of this loop again, continue outer, it will continue once again. Suppose if you want to terminate this loop, then you can use break outer, like that. Next, another one, expression statements. See, expression statements are going to be executed by evaluating the expression. Expression statements, it will going to be executed once the any expression is evaluated. So it will be used to evaluate the expression. For example, expressions, for example, integer a is equal to 3 plus 4 into 6 by 2 plus 8. For example, this is one expression. This is one expression. This expression will be executed by evaluating this. This expression will be executed by evaluating this. So this is one mathematical expression. So this expression will be executed and evaluating this expression and assign finally the result will to the variable a. Then another statement is selection statement. The selection statements are, there are three types of selection statement using in Java. So these statements are going to be executed based on the condition value, based on the value of the expression. That is conditional expression, whether the expression is true or false, that is Boolean value. Understood? Selection statements, even you are studied in the other languages, selection statements are statements which are going to be executed based on the result of the condition or based on the result of the Boolean value. Boolean value, either true or false. If the condition is true, if the Boolean value is true, then it will execute the set of statement in the particular block. If the Boolean value is false, then it will go to the other block. So for example, here three types of statements, three types of selection statements. That is if else, switch. These are the three statements, are selection statements or conditional statements, or these we are going to use to execute the statements based on the Boolean value, either true or false. If that condition is true, then it will execute the set of statement at once. If the condition is false, if the Boolean value is false, it will go to the other block, other statements. See example here, if you see the example, if a is equal to 1, if a is equal to 1, then system dot out dot println true. For example, true. Else system dot out dot println false. So this is the selection statement example. So I am using here if else statement. If a is equal to 1. If the a value will be equal to the 1, then this if block will be executed, that is the result is true, then it will display the output is true. Suppose if the a value is not 1, then it will go to the else part. If the condition is true, if block will be executed. If the condition is false, then it will go to the else part. Here else part false will be displayed. So this is selection statement. Then another one, looping statement. Then looping statements. See, looping statements are executed the nested statement repeatedly. Looping statements are going to allow to execute the nested statements repeatedly until the condition gets true. Once the condition gets false, then you will terminate the loop. Understood? The same set of statements, if you want to execute repeatedly, then you are going to use the loops. You know, already studied in the other languages. So these looping statements are going to be executed the nested statements repeatedly until the condition gets true. Once the condition gets false, then it will terminate the loop. So there are three types of looping statements we are using in the Java. While, for, do while. So for example, see, while I less than 10, system dot out dot println I. So here in the while loop I am taking the condition I, if I is less than 10, then display this statements repeatedly until this condition gets true. For example, I value take initially 1. If I is less than 1 means 1 is less than 10 means what? True, condition true. So it will display there. What is I value at present? 1. Then I value incremented, here I plus plus. Then I value will be incremented. Now I value become 2. Now 2 is less than 10, again true. Now display 2. So like that it will display 1, 2 up to 9. If you want to 10, then you have to give your less than or equal, then it will display up to 10. Understood? So this is the example for looping statement. Here I am taken the while loop, and I is less than or equal to 10, it will display the I value, repeatedly display the I value until 10. So it will display the I value from 1 to 10, because I am taken the initial value 1, it will display from 1 to 10. Next, jumping statement, jump statements. See, jump statements are going to use to transfer the control out of the block. Suppose if you transfer the control from out of the block in the middle of the block, or at the end of the block, if you want to transfer the control, then we can use the jump statements. Jump statements are, see, there are jump statements are like break, continue, and exit. So these are the jump statements. See, what is the use of jump statement? Jump statements are going to use to transfer the control out of the block, okay, or out of the particular block. So you, for example, at present your control will be in the inside the block, and you want to transfer the control from outside the block, from the middle to outside the block, or from the last to outside the block. Then immediately you can transfer by using the break, continue, and exit. See example, if you take the example for jump statements, while I less than 10, system dot out dot println I, if I is equal to 5, break. I is equal to 5, break. See, for example, initially you take I value integer, I is equal to 1. Now 1 is less than 10. What? 1 is less than 10 is what? True. Condition is true. Then it will display the system.out.println I. What is I value? 1. 1 will be displayed. Now check the condition. Here you are using the if condition. Now check. So 1 is equal to 5. What is I value present? 1 is equal to 5. True or false? False. True or false? False. False means it will go to the next statement. So then again it will go to the while loop. So here you can write I plus plus. Now I value incremented. Now I value will be 2. 2 less than 10. 2 less than 10. Again true. Now it will display the value 2. Now we will check the 2 is equal to 5. False. Again it will come to the next statement, that is I plus plus. I value incremented. Now 3. 3 less than 10. True. Now we will display the 3. 3 is equal to 5. False. It will come to the next statement, I plus plus. Now 4. 4 less than 10. True. Display the 4. And 4 is equal to 5. False. So I value incremented. Now 5. 5 less than 10. True. Display the 5. Now I value what? 5. 5 is equal to 5. 5 is equal to 5 what? True. Condition is true. Now it will break. It will reach the break. Now it will terminate the loop. Now control out of the loop. So it will display only 1 to 5. So like that you can use to break the loop or to continue the loop. So you can use the jump statements. It can jump from one block to the another block, or one part of the program to another part of the program, using the jump statement. Next, another statement is called synchronized statement. See, synchronized statement statements are used to define the multi-threaded program, or to develop any multi-threaded program. You can use synchronized statement to develop multi-threaded program. Suppose in the Java, if you want to define any multi-threaded program, you can use the synchronized statement. Example for synchronized statement, see, synchronized of this. For example, here synchronized is a one method. So this method is having some arguments. Using this, we can develop any multi-threaded program. So then you can use the synchronized keyword to define any multi-threaded program. Then another one is exception handling statement. Exception handling. Exception handling statements we are going to use to define any, if you want to check any exceptions or errors in your program, or if you want to handle any exceptions or errors in your program, you can use the exception handling to handle any exceptions. Exceptions also called what? Errors. Any exceptions or errors or runtime errors. To handle any exceptions or errors in our program, we can use exception handling by using the keywords what? Try, catch, throw, throws, finally. Using these keywords, you can handle the exception in your program. Example, try. For example, here this is the try block. Try, throw, exception, throw. For example, exception, throw E, throw exception. Then here catch, then finally. So like that you can write try, throw E. So for example, E is one exception. This I am going to throw to the particular catch block. In the catch block, you can going to handle the exception. Here we are going to receive this exception and we are going to handle in the catch block, and finally block will going to clean up the any operations in your block. So that is finally. So try catch finally you are going to use to handle the exception. That is one example. And the last one is assignment statement. Assignment statement. Assignment statements are going to use to assign the values to the variable. To assign the values. To assign the values to variables. See, for example, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. So we are assigning the value 10 to the variable A and we are going to assigning the value 20 to the variable B using the assignment statement. This you know already in the other languages. So these are the some types of statement we are using in the Java program.